I need to be strapped to the chair for this one, okay? If I had some rope or a man to strap me to the chair, I would be pinned down right now because listen, we're going to talk about Ned Fulmer and his latest video. And like, mind you, this came out over a week ago. This isn't even just like some topical kind of thing. If you saw my previous video on IGN, you know, I have a slightly personal bone to pick with Mr. Fulmer. Okay, now I have been in the industry for about a decade now. I've met a lot of different YouTubers, creators, blah, blah, blah. And like, honestly, guys, I really mind my own business. I do. But if I have a personal bias towards somebody due to a personal experience that I've like had with them, and like, it's not a very serious one, watch the other episode if you want to know what I'm talking about. Then I try to let you know that there's a bit of bias in it. And normally I just don't talk about anybody that I know or like met or anything. However, this little fucking crumb, I'm not a Fulmer fan. I'm not a Fulmer fan. And the reason I wanted to talk about this video that he put out is not just because everybody hates Ned Fulmer right now. This is a video of a man. Oh my God, I can't even look at him. Listen, bitch, I tried to tell you I had a little bias. This is a video of a man that will never, ever, ever change. If you don't fully remember, Ned was previously a member of a group. It was a quartet. You know, they made a whole bunch of videos together. They had been together for years. They were really cool, like wholesome guys. And Ned was married and all of his friends were married. And sometimes they would do videos with their wives. It was a Try Guys, okay? I was trying to not make them associated with the thing, but I just realized that sounded really bad. So they would sometimes do different videos, blah, 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 blah. And Ned's particular identity was, I love my wife. I'm my wife. Like, my wife is the best, blah, blah, blah. Well, he cheated on her with a producer at their company. And it was a huge, huge deal. Then after that, he and his wife, Ariel, kind of tried to repair their marriage. And, you know, they ultimately had a falling out. The internet really hated that he betrayed the Try Guys. He created one of the biggest scandals of the past decade on the internet, and it affected their company. He had to leave. It was all over lust. And I've talked about this before. If you destroy a family, if you destroy a business, if you destroy any entity or kinship or sacred union that people are watching or enjoying or a part of over lust, my God, my guy, my dude, you're a bitch. Keep it in your pants. Like, I'm gonna be so real, dude. Do you know how hard it is to build a multi-million-dollar business with your friends? You know how easy it is to fuck a hot girl? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, this is, and then you cheated on your wife. And okay, I'm sorry. I'm not going into all of it. I'm not going into all of it again. I just clearly have a lot of feelings about this. And if you have a business, a family, something that you're responsible to, please think twice before you go doing something crazy. What happened next? So there's a lot of fallout over the course of a year or two. And then Ned comes back with a new podcast that was called Rock Bottom. And the first episode was with his wife, Ariel. Painful watch. Like, it still sizzles my skin just thinking about it. And he got a lot of backlash after putting out that episode of his podcast. And then about a week ago, he came back to the internet with this apology that was more like, hey guys, can you guys all just get over it so I can come back to the internet and make some money? Because look, Ned woke up a couple weeks ago and he said, I ain't working. Put me in stand-up comedy. Put me in WWE. Put me in blah, 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 blah. I ain't working. So anyways, here is his recent statement.
Hello.
Sorry.
I've heard a lot of the commentary and reactions to my podcast episode with Ariel, and I wanted to take this video to address some of them. That episode with Ariel was mostly about her story, and now in this video, I'll tell a little bit more of mine. There's a lot that we wanted to keep private, but some things I'll touch on today. I know that it was a very painful and uncomfortable...
Sorry, okay, listen, this is just me being a hater. I will get more to it in a second, but I just gotta say, a lot of YouTubers read off of teleprompters and a lot of things are scripted. I understand that. Plenty of podcasts do, okay? The way that Ned's eyes are, it looks like you know, back in the day when there would be just a person holding up the cue cards over the camera, like, bitch, the way he is reading this is like there's somebody on the other side holding up cue cards.
I know that it was a very painful and uncomfortable conversation to watch.
Next
I know
card.
for some of you, it reopened things. For us, it felt like a necessary step to be able to move forward. We knew we would always get these sort of questions in any context online. And it felt like the only way to move forward was just to face it head on.
So that's just another thing. He said the only way to move forward was just to face it head on. What is he essentially saying here? I'm not working. I said this before when in a previous video, I mentioned that when somebody gets canceled to this degree, depending on what you do, and like, look, he's a cheater. He's a married cheater. Terrible, horrible. Like, the thing is, I have actually seen people come back from worse, and you probably have too. And a lot of the reason why they're able to come back from worse is because they contribute something to the entertainment world, or they contribute something in a way that people go, okay, you know what? I can't look away. I'm going to still be there on it. The problem is that Ned is not just a cheater. He's a boring cheater. I have not seen one piece of content that come out that I go, oh, like, I just loved this. This is amazing. This is thought-provoking. Like, I'm sorry. He put out a podcast that was called Rock Bottom, where he talked to like a couple of friends about a really bad time in their life. We can't do something interesting. You know, anybody can do that. If you do something that people think is morally reprehensible, you must do something extraordinary and apologize in an amazing way for the public to accept you back. And so not only is he just ordinary and boring, and he was uplifted in a group of people that were pretty talented. I told y'all it was personal. But he's also a cheater!
Face it head on. As has been reported in interviews, launching the podcast with a conversation with Ariel was Ariel's idea. She's a stakeholder in the Rock Bottom podcast and this new channel, and she wants it to be successsul.
Okay, motherfucker, just say that y'all haven't figured it out all the way and you share assets. Like, don't act like this is some, 60-40 venture and, oh my God, Ariel, I hurt you so bad, so I want to give you a percentage of the company. To me, it sounds like it's still a little bit of shared assets. And so they've probably manipulated her in conversations, not to infantilize her, but they've probably said like, well, you own a part of this, you have a piece of this, I want to set up our kids for success and blah, blah, blah. Like, no, it's not as clean cut as they're making it seem. Like, if Ned had just gotten a job, okay, you guys that work in like corporate marketing, digital, anything like this, like, tell me if I'm right on this. This man could have gone off and gotten a job at a minimum salary of $200,000, $250,000, something like that. He could have gotten a lot of money as a marketing or digital expert behind the scenes, and people would have taken him in because of his knowledge. And that is a grandiose amount of money. I can guarantee you that he's not making anywhere close to that with the Rock Bottom podcast. But he didn't accept it because he still wants to be in front of the camera, and he don't want to work. He don't want to work. Anybody could have told him he could have gone anywhere and made a boatload of money.
And she wants it to be successful. So that was part of the reason why, in terms of having that conversation, we did it together rather than on any other platform.
I'm sure you guys have had a lot of
we
conversations.
knew it would draw a lot of attention, and I know that some of you have only seen 15-second clips of me putting my foot in my mouth, but I hope for those that watch the full hour that you took something away from it. Any clip that you see on TikTok is just one small snippet of an hour-long conversation of 3 years of trying to work through this. After discovery...
Oh my God, even his language here. This is just a short part of 3 years of trying to work through this. And what is this, Ned? Not saying that he necessarily has to say it, but you can just feel that he still doesn't want to admit that his lust destroyed his family and ruined a portion of a business for a fling that he just couldn't help. you know? And then he's single now. He's not with the chick that he cheated on. He's not with his wife, you know? And he's like, God, guys, can we just get over this? Like, this is a person that's never going to change.
I started an intensive program of therapy, group therapy, and work to really try to understand
Next cue card.
what I had done, why I had done it, and what it meant for my relationship and my life. Facing rationalizations, denials, minimizations, all of these mental clouds that help you continue behavior that you know is hurtful.
Oh my God. And guys, you can just see it in just those couple of sentences that he just said. It hasn't gotten through. He is like so disgusted with his own thoughts and rationalizations. He's like, oh, this is uncomfortable. Let's just get through it. He does that in therapy. He does that here in front of us. Like when you really break through that stuff, the core of your thoughts that humiliate you internally and externally, there's this harsh reality facing that you can just really hear in the tone. And he seems like he's still trying to push it away. And to me, that would make me feel like you still have those thoughts.
I cheated on my wife with an employee of my business, and it caused her immense pain and shattered our marriage.
Yeah.
And also caused a lot of pain to a lot of other people.
God, why does it sound like he just got handed a hostage note? When you say stuff, it's about the tone. And I mean, across the board, he just really missed the tone. And if he had really done that work in group therapy and how, I'll just say it, how lust or your ability to acquire women reflects on your own ego and your insecurity. If he had actually worked on that, the insecurity that needs to be fed by what women he flirts with or whether he's liked and, do I feel safe if someone likes me or has a crush on me? Or do I feel safe and distracted when there's tension? Whatever it may be, honestly, babe, those are really easy things to work out. They are. And when you don't want to work them out, it's usually because you're so addicted to the feeling of them that you just want to keep the train going, okay?
I sought to understand the patterns of behavior that led to this.
No, you didn't!
I did work with internal family systems and parts work. Started in the 12-step program and continued to understand why I had done what I did, what the underlying issues were, and what it was that I was running from.
Why I did what I did. Okay, XQC. Why I did what I did and what the patterns were. It's like you can just hear in his tone. It's like he doesn't even take this seriously. He's like, can we just move on past this?
When I chose to do that selfish and self-destructive behavior.
You don't mean that!
It started as a therapeutic separation. And then from there, I prepared a disclosure document that answered all of her questions and volunteered for a lie detector test to then, in a therapeutic setting, convey that information to her so that we could build something new on the same page of knowing exactly everything that happened.
Honestly, I feel like Ariel, as his wife or ex-wife or whatever, I fully support her just pulling the spine out of his ass here because you humiliated us on a public stage, you know? It's so frustrating if you have like a partner and you want to believe that they are good or that your moral compass is the same as theirs. Like if you wouldn't do that, if you could get better, if you could understand your actions and kind of repent and figure it out and be a good husband and be a good dad, if you really believe that you could do that, you want to believe that your partner could do that too. Sometimes they can't. Some people are just really big pieces of shit. They just are, dude. I personally believe that most guys, a lot of guys, when they get older, because guys are very avoidant, I find most men are just a bit avoidant in nature. What I notice as I get older is that when guys, kind of turn like late 20s, 30s, 40s, they split. They split into two people. And I like to call this one, the family man image. It's whatever husband, father, whatever they're supposed to be. And they love to play this role because it feels good. And then this other role is almost the little boy that they are when they go into their room at night and they know that their parents are asleep and they can do whatever they want and they're like a little gremlin. It's like men are masters at compartmentalizing and splitting into these two things. And then sometimes, especially when they get very rich, this second life that they have, it expands in secrecy and degeneracy, okay? It's almost like they want to see how far it can go. And there's also some kind of thrill that they have about like hiding it and separating the two things because they want to be this thing so bad, you know? And you know what, bitch? I don't have an answer to this for you because I keep seeing it. Like I'm in my 30s now and I keep seeing it with so many guys. I see it with rich dudes. I see it with dudes that have porn addictions. I see it with just guys as they get older and they're unfulfilled with their lives and they have these two separate things. It is one of the strangest phenomenons, okay? But I see it all the time.
Additionally, I practice empathy and listening and boundaries with Ariel and others.
I think also, and this isn't really to give grace to Ned because God knows I don't want to take my foot off this man's neck. But I feel like this Try Guys thing happened year and a half, maybe 2 years ago or something. And I feel like for the magnitude of what he did, 2 years of processing while you're in therapy, going through divorce contracts, going through legal contracts, going through all that stuff, and then trying to get back in the game and get back in entertainment, it's too much. You need a break, dumbass. Like, I'm sorry. Take whatever your buyout was from the Try Guys, because he owned a part of it. I mean, assuming, I don't know if they had a moral clause and they were like, fuck you, buddy, or what. But take your money from that and you need to go into a hole for a couple of years. Work a 9 to 5. Like, you guys get what I'm saying? 2 years is not enough to process the administrative, legal, emotional, and everything aspects of the moral issue that he created. Like, there's no way. Like, I honestly think like 5 years minimum sentence in hell.
So from there, Ariel prepared an impact letter that described all of the pain that she felt, and I was able to hear that and take it in and sit with it to really understand all of the ways that my betrayal had affected her and what it meant through her point of view. So this was a long process that it took, approximately 2 years and continues work even to this day at the 3-year mark.
I know my audience doesn't need this reminder, but I want to give you this reminder. As much as clearly I'm not a Ned fan, you're not a Ned fan, don't go harass this man because I'm going to say something right now that I know you're going to want to go comment on his shit or say that. Don't do that. You know, what do we do here in my community? A respectful side eye, a graceful side eye. Okay. But my one answer to all of this is get a job. Get a fucking job. Go online and get a goddamn fucking job. Like, why are you in front of us right now doing this? Go get a job for literally $250,000 doing marketing shit and go heal and get away from everyone. Like, the reason why you're getting so much hate is because you're still here and you still want attention. And for some reason, you think there's a world where the attention is going to be good. I'm sorry. The attention was good because people loved the Try Guys as an entire group. If it was the Ned Fulmer channel on BuzzFeed from the jump and he was just saying, I love my wife, like, do you think that we would be here? Do you think we would have gotten this far? No, honey. And somebody needs to be honest with him instead of trying to milk him for 10% because that's clearly what's fucking happening. Get a job.
Even though we decided to separate officially 2 years in. It's something that I'm really proud of. That's really changed my life. And, you know, I understand that if you, a viewer, is watching this for the first time or just sees this 15-second clip on TikTok, you don't understand everything that has led us to this point. And I know that it'll take time. And if you want to just judge me off of one clip of me talking about society, which obviously was not the best response to that situation.
This also is very strange to me because, like, he clearly, after being online for so long, does not have a clear understanding of the internet. And the reality of the situation is, this goes for all creators. This goes for me if I fall into one of these situations. This goes for all of my colleagues, my coworkers, other creators that you watch. If you do something like cheating on your wife and everybody hates you because maybe they have a personal tie to some situation like that in any capacity, and everyone just hates you, then they're not going to want to like you. they're not going to go out of their way to be like, well, let me listen to this person that did something that I personally hate and try to open up a new point of view. And the fact that like he doesn't understand that, the fact that he thinks that he has a fighting chance, that like people are not going to revel in his downfall is very strange. Like, did you just get here? Did you have your eyes closed throughout the entire duration of your YouTube career? Because anybody that understands the internet or public relations in any capacity would tell you, if people don't want to understand you, if people don't want you to win, you will not win on the internet. It's just how it works. Chat, if Ned had a podcast where he was talking to people that were like, it was more about cheating. If he was doing a show about cheaters or talking to cheaters or catching cheaters and blah, 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 bitch, that would work. Now, I know none of us want to see success and rainbows for Ned, but you get what I'm saying? You can't explore conversations with empathy and curiosity. You better do something crazy, boy.
So that's the type of community that I'm building here. I'm grateful for you watching this video and listening, and I will see you around.
Shut up. Do the To Catch a Cheater show. Just do it, all right? Like, that's what you need to do. Stop being normal. You already fucked it up, so just go full send, buddy.